Welcome, my friends. I hope you guys are all doing well. And today, guys, we're back with a community showdown. So it's going to be Vampire Coast led by Anticity facing off against the Dinosaurs and Alfredino. Luther Harkin against the Blueberry Slan. And for some reason, I think the Blueberry Slan is the light Slan. So I would imagine there's going to be some net snows, high magic. So yeah, that's really good. Obviously, Luther Harkin is a super common pick here. You know he's all about getting them lizard trinkets. So basically, being able to lock him down with the Tempest and keep him from getting said trinkets is a big victory for the Dinosaurs. Now, for the army here of Alfred, it is going to be very Saurus heavy, and Saurus are quite good. This matchup used to really suck because basically bombers were just out of control, and when you'd advance on Vampire Coast, the bombers just take a fat dump on your expensive front line of Saurus. So now that bombers are a little bit less oppressive, and obviously the gun line is a little bit kind of tuned down, Luther Harkin's weaker, I find that Saurus front lines are kind of back on the menu. They can endure, they're shielded, they really grind very efficiently with their base high leadership and, great weapon strength, especially, Saurus don't have like the highest melee attack, it's at 29, but against zombies, it is very high. So they really feel that high weapon strength when they're getting in there and just getting all down and dirty. So cohorts on the flanks, very good. They're very quick and can maneuver around zombies and pressure the back line. And, I don't really need to say anything about CHAMELEON Skinks. They're, in my opinion, hands down the best unit on the Lizardmen roster. Extremely annoying, extremely cost-effective, missile resist, which makes it even harder to get them. So those little bastards certainly do a good job. Saurus in the front, we have double Scar Veteran in case there was like a wild crab build. And it looks like, oh yeah, dude, talk dirty. We got the Umbral Tide, the Salamander Hunting Pack. These guys got some cool gold chains around their tails. They're ready to go. And yeah, theoretically, there's a fair amount of good targets. Morgul's, even against big armor, they can certainly do okay. So yeah, quite excited to see them. Hidden as well. That is a very choice target for like deck gunners and cannons, but the fact that they have stock does help. And yeah, the Slan Mage of High Magic hiding, obviously very risky. It can be risky to bring Slans in this matchup because of cannons and Luther Harkin sniping, but with Tempest, you're a little bit safer because you also have Apotheosis to counter the cannon fire. Cohort of Sotek, and that is it. Now for the Dark Lord of the Vampire Coast Anticity, we got deckhand mobs, triple handguns, triple deck gunner. Holy shit, yeah, this is like an OG Anticity build. This is like the stuff of old that he always would bring in the Vampire Coast faction wars and that he would end up winning with. So quite curious here to see how the Lizardmen are going to be trying to get in there. I mean, obviously to deal with a gunline, kind of the rock, paper, scissors format is going super wide. So the wider you go, the more efficient you are against like gunline, right? Because then you have less high value targets and you minimize the effectiveness and value of their ammunition. You surround, you wrap and trap, man. That's how you do it. It's a band or a rap group called that or something. Anyways, here, yeah, I feel like rap and trap. What would that be like? Kind of a electronic like rap group? Are there things like that? I don't know. I'm just getting outside of the box now, guys. We're getting a little crazy here in this particular commentary session. Nonetheless, deck hunter shooting into the Saurus here. Saurus do have shields, but deck hunters do have the shield breaker, so that certainly makes them a little bit more effective here. Now the Saurus will be advancing. Certainly nice. I mean, bombers, though they did get nerfed, still are pretty good. So it's got to feel pretty good for like a very heavy Saurus front line to know that there's not going to be bombers coming in. And there's not too many good targets. I mean, the Slan is certainly a choice target. So are the Umbral Tide. But aside from that, this Lizard army has done a very good job of not giving too many good targets to his opponent. And the cohort of Sotek throwing in, going after the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. These guys are getting buttered up pretty good. You can see a couple of them do go down here. But the thing about deckhand mobs is they have a huge HP pool. So they're pretty decent sponges for this type of damage. And, that's really what they're there for, just to take damage. Now in the front, a little bit of a potential blunder here as the Saurus Scar Veteran, it gets absolutely blasted by the deck hunters, just pure punishment. And it looks like that bad boy is going to be getting away at least. And he does have Apotheosis and various healing, but now the die is cast. The Umbral Tide is in play here, and they're going to be visible to Anticity. And he's going to react pretty quick, I'm sure. But it looks like he's still trying to focus down the Scar Vet, but no, there is the switch fire. I think the deck hunters are going to go after Umbral Tide, which will be very strong. So yeah, that's really, really painful here for Alfred. That is a substantial loss. What do they cost? I think just over 1,000 gold, give or take. That's gotta hurt. Now over here, I would say Anticity, one of the biggest points of his plays. He's really, really good with hounds. And here he's able to engage against a cohort of Sotek with some hounds and bats. And he's pretty much taking no damage in the process. Although there are some CHAMELEON Skinks nearby that have done an excellent job cleaning up these fell bats. Yeah, this is still a good engagement for the coast. Though on the other side, though, the guns are being pressured. We have cohorts piling into actual handguns here. We have CHAMELEONs piling in and fighting, but the Fellbats are actually doing a decent job of peeling them off. But the main thing is the real kind of the juicy part of the cake here is still intact, right? We have the triple deck gunner, we have the cannon, and they're all doing their thing. So Anticity does use a zombie pirate gunnery mob summon, while Alfredino does send in the Saurus warriors with shields. And now they're going to be going to Cudgel Town, or whatever weapons they use here, or Pound Land or Pound Town, against these zombie pirate handgun mobs. But yeah, this is really good play. Basically summoning the pistol mobs behind them, shooting them in the back where they're unshielded, really, really wears them down very quickly and takes the pressure off the backfield. Now, as far as the balance of power goes, it looks like Anticity is in a little bit of a commanding position. Luther Harkin's very healthy. Most of the flank pressure has been dismantled with the exception of the cohort of Sotek here. Probably, well, we'll take a little bit more damage, but... and yeah, the Saurus Scar veterans haven't been able to get too many good engagements. However, Tempest is an ability that can really do well, but oh, masterful play there by the Lord of Pirates. Basically, he lands Luther Harkin, and if you're landed, you do take the slowing effect from Tempest, but you do not, however, take the damage. So he's able to avoid all that damage on that probably overcasted Tempest. An absolute play of beauty right there. So now Balance of Power is getting real nasty. I'm going pretty heavily into the favor of Vampire Coast here. But Luther Harkin's in a little bit of danger, and this is a play that could really turn the game around. Luther is on the ground. He's got 2 anti-large beat sticks just going balls deep here, and this could be something that could be a potential game-changing situation. Now, if there were a Tempest here, this would be like the ideal time, right? Like when he flies back up in the sky trying to escape, you Tempest him, and then if he lands to escape the Tempest, you're waiting with your jaws here on the ground in the Saurus Scar veterans. But a nice cycle charge, actually, coming back in. A little bit of a ballsy play considering the support of the Chameleon Skinks, but we'll see how this pans out. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see what happens. Now, in the meantime, while I was kind of blabbering about all this business right here, you can see that the Salon of High Magic has been getting absolutely domed by the cannons and deck gunners. He's at 700 HP. Apotheosis, Cold Blood, maybe going to keep him going. Hard to say, but trading that Salon for Luther Harkin probably would be worth it. But Luther doing a very good job juking through his own troops. So he's pathing through his own zombies, which is harder for your opponents to path through your troops there. The zombies will kind of do a little bit of a sidestep and let your boy Luther through. But, honestly, at this point, he doesn't even have to land. He's got a ton of ammo in that pistol, and he can just kind of sit here and shoot and really enjoy himself. Now, Chameleons are fighting some scurvy dogs. It looks like they're going to win. And the Salon is back, and the Balance of Power is getting pretty damn even. Oh, is that going to be a Tempest? Oh, and the Salon goes down. It looks like he did get blasted by a cannon shot. But the Lizards are also on top of the Deck Gunners, and Deck Gunners are probably the most glass cannon unit in the entire game. They have like 2,200 HP base or something. They have like 10 melee defense, 15 armor. They get like crumped by anything. Even like a couple of Chameleon Skinks are going to just cut through them like absolute butter here. And you can see that's kind of happening. Chameleon Skinks just getting in there, doing all their flying attacks. I really do like some of the attack animations of like Saurus and things like that. I think it's so cool. So Luther is able to, pretty much dominate these Scarvets right here. One's at 200 HP, the other one's at 1,000. Probably will come back and be a player, but the Chameleon Skink's able to make him pay a bit of a pittance for that right here. And you can see he's now going to be going back, probably trying to terror out these Skinks, which he probably easily will. They're on the run, they're being attacked in the back. A power siphon on them is pretty funny. And now it does lower their vigor, right? So it's not like it's useless against them, but you don't see power siphon too often. A lot of times people do cut that, but perhaps against lizards, maybe it has more merits against like the Slons and some of their, casters and things like that. So Lizardmen are just tenacious, man. They're moving in all directions here. The Skink cohorts and the Chameleons moving in, and the Saurus Scar veteran going in as well, man. Really, really going after these deck hunters. And could this be a wild comeback? I mean, Luther Harkin is not having a good time, and you can really see the power of the Chameleon Skink in the late game. Until they run out of ammo, they are going to get value against you. And Luther Harkin is, what he's at, like 200 HP. That's a good play. Get in there, get as much value as you can here in the fourth quarter. Really nice breath attack. Luther might even be able to get in there and do some work and finish off this Scarvet, which would be huge. Does he? 425. If that Scarvet lives, that's going to be a problem. That's a really nice source of leadership. Okay, negative 13. Cold-blooded popped. Every time I see cold-blooded, it reminds me of the old Rick James Chappelle skit. It was Rick James, right? Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't the Prince one. The Prince one is the whole basketball thing. But yeah, Luther Harkin gets blasted by those Skinks. He really pays the price there. And suddenly we have like a Razor thing game on our hands. But the big problem for the coast is pretty much all their equity is in this downward facing stock right here of these deck hunters. And now we have all the Chameleon Skinks moving in. They got their cudgels out. And yeah, they're just going to start whooping on these guys, man. And that is really going to tank the Balance of Power. And this is what I'm saying about Saurus. They are down to grind, man. They're able to get in there and, yeah, just do a ton of sustainable damage. And now we see the balance. Is it ebbing back? I mean, there's Skinks coming in from every direction. These little Chameleons probably will be able to polish off these deck hunters. What a close, scrappy game between these two players, man. And the Zombie Pirate Deck Hunter mobs still have 84 models, but the Cannon and Deck Hunters probably going to die to a couple Saurus here, although those Saurus do shatter off their backs. But the Chameleons are the heroes that the Lizardmen certainly need here, and you can see they're the last lizard standing. The Deckhand Mob might be a little bit tricky to get through. It's still 3,000 HP, but I think there's still ammunition on these Skinks. Yeah, this one unit has a lot, probably enough to really wear them down and be a substantial, disruption factor here. So here comes the Skinks. Oh my god, that cannon really cleaved through them, though. Oh man, brutal. Now, if the zombies are right on top of the cannon, that could be a problem, but obviously they were chasing over here, so I think they're going to probably get dragged down. They're poisoned right now. Their speed is 18. They're waddling super slow, trying to get over here, and the entire time they're being poked by these little Skinks. Now, it looks like it's going to be all she wrote. Very well played. Yeah, man, Lizardmen take the victory. And a game I thought Anticity was quite far ahead with the early value basically nullifying the Umbral Tide, getting the advantageous trades versus the Sara Scarvets, and killing the Slann was very, very powerful. But obviously the build had a ton of guns, right? It was very, very wide. So the Lizards were able to eventually get into the cookie jar with the Saurus, and that was it. That was able to give him enough of an edge. And also there were some good value trades here on the Scarvets against Luther in the late game. So yeah, I would imagine the Skinks did really well. 600, 1600, Jesus, 1400 and 1300. They're such good units. I mean, look at this. You pay for this like big fancy, shiny Lizardman toy, and it just does nothing. And then you get the good humble Skink, and he just like carries the day. That's just how it is, man. And your boy Luther, he did okay. Certainly didn't pay for himself. But the Deck Hunters, yeah, did not bad value across the board. And the Cannon did really good. It was just a super well-played game between these two awesome players who also happen to be clanmates. So if you guys enjoyed that one, we'll be back with more content soon. And that's it. Well played to Anticity and Alfredinho. And also, big props to your boy Anticity for sending in a loss. Not a lot of people do that. So big props to him. And if you haven't seen his Twitch channel or his YouTube channel, he streams on Twitch, I think 5 days a week, if not more, in the afternoon. And on top of that, he does also upload the VODs to his YouTube channel. So that's the classic formula there. So make sure to check him out. He's an amazing commentator. He gives great commentary while he plays. A very good, insightful analysis of his games. He is just an awesome guy. So make sure to check him out. All right, guys, that's it. Cheers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.